We announce our top 5 games of the year. Epic Games is in a huge Fortnite lawsuit. Digital game sales are skyrocketing, and the next Tomb Raider game will be published by Amazon. All this and more on this week's episode of Checkpoint. And we are live.
Welcome back to Checkpoint, brought to you by Strictly Casual, your number one show rounding up all the hottest gaming news stories of the week and discussing all the relevant topics you need to know about. I'm one of your hosts, Ryder Maldonado, joined today by Vincent DeSantis, the Texas Traversing Boys. No,
The Texas Traversing Boys. I think James is giving us his games. He just texted me.
Oh, here we go. This is it. Well, ladies and gents, welcome into the show. This is episode 143 on December 21st, the last show of the year for Strictly Casual until the new year and new fun stuff comes. But welcome back, everybody. Audio listeners, you can find us on YouTube at youtube.com/Strictly Casual. Thanks so much for listening at home. We appreciate all the Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcast listeners. You guys, it helps us out when you're listening at home, supporting us.
Apple Podcast took over Spotify for the first time we've ever had, through hundreds of episodes of the podcast. Apple Music has overtaken Spotify. Crazy.
Wow. That's pretty cool. That's cool to hear.
Yeah,
okay, well, there you have it.
Well,
ladies and gents, yeah, that's cool. Thanks for sharing. Ladies and gents, if you want to give us a review, let us know what we're doing right. Let us know what we're doing wrong. And also, if you're listening at home, you can head on over to YouTube and give us a sub. Helps us out a lot. And we have some, this is it for our YouTube, really. Our content is this is it today. Our last stuff wrapping up, and then we have the new year. And we're taking a little break.
Redder, give us a little preview about what is coming in the first couple weeks of 2023.
Yeah, well, any Star Wars fans here can look forward to a pretty fun collab that we've been playing for a little bit. For those of you that know, on the Hannah Rayside of the Rayside Show on YouTube, we got a fun collab coming with her.
Yeah.
Talking some Andor and really Star Wars as a whole. So
yeah,
keep an eye out.
I'm excited.
It's a really great video. Yeah, we're excited for that.
Star Wars good.
Star Wars great.
Let's jump into the first story here. So what we're going to do, we have 3 stories, but in this episode, a very special one, because we're going to give our games of the year, the best games of 2022 in our opinions. And I'm excited for that because I don't know Ryder's list. Ryder doesn't know my list. James is sending his list in because James is at home. That's why he's not on the podcast today. And he doesn't have his mic or any of his equipment or anything like that. So he's going to send his also. So we'll have all 3 of our top 5 lists that I'm super excited to go over. So let's jump into the first story of the day. And that is Fortnite maker Epic Games is going to pay $520 million over child privacy violations and deceptive in-game purchases. This comes from Polygon. That is insane to me. Quote, Epic uses privacy invasive default settings and deceptive interfaces that tricked Fortnite users, including teenagers and children, FTC chairwoman Lena M. Khan said in a statement that released Monday. Quote, protecting the public and especially children from online privacy invasions and dark patterns is a top priority for the commission. And these enforcement actions make clear to businesses that the FTC is cracking down on these unlawful practices. Man, big week for the FTC.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, they're blocking Activision Blizzard's acquisition. They're like, we're cracking down on Epic Games. Like, they're
on it, dude. Yeah, they're like, we're doing our job.
Yeah,
we're not just sitting back. Yeah,
they're scoped in right now. I don't know what's happening. The refunds stemming from a separate complaint before the FTC concern the use of dark patterns that the commission said tricked Fortnite players into making unintended game purchases. They said Fortnite has a counterintuitive, inconsistent, and confusing button configuration that led players to incur unwanted charges based on a press of a single button. I don't really know, Ryder. Is it confusing to you? Like when you go and buy a skin, do you feel like you're being tricked into buying a skin?
Here's what I say. Having not played Fortnite a little bit, I would say I could see how it's confusing because I see this even on Modern Warfare 2 now, Call of Duty, where they show you bundles in the store and it has a purchase button and a view button.
Sure.
But the purchase button is the one that you click the most, like the A or the X button.
Yeah.
But the view is always like the Y or the select button. It's like weird. Sure. So I don't know. Your instinct is always like, okay, view, but then that button is like purchase.
Yeah.
So it takes a second for you to kind of step back, but I can imagine for little kids, it's probably like, okay, I just want to view through, and they're clicking stuff, not knowing they're clicking.
Because on Fortnite, I think you have to click the bundle or whatever it is, and then it opens it so you can view it, and then there's a purchase and inspect button, like the two.
Oh, yeah.
Two.
It's too close. They're too close.
What they might need is like some sort of UI thing where you have to hold the button to purchase or hold the button to
Yeah,
inspect, and the circle goes around or something
Mhm.
like that. But
That'd be
honestly,
great.
I don't think it's that deceiving. Even if you're a kid, but if a kid is making purchases in any game, I don't think they're gonna be very smart about that decision or like
Yeah.
consciously make that.
This is where the FTC needs to look into like parental ad targeting, where they say, "Hey, parents, look at putting more child locks
Sure.
on your PlayStation." You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
something like that.
Rechange your focus, FTC.
Yeah,
No,
something
no,
that'd be hilarious.
something like that.
So basically, this led to you are now able to, right? Or if you went into Fortnite,
Mhm.
you can refund every single skin you purchased right now.
Really?
Yep.
Wow.
I s-
That's
People are
man.
making TikToks about refunding $3,000 worth of skins, and like I saw this one TikTok at least where this guy goes in, he refunds his entire locker of skins, gets $3,000. He's like, nice little Christmas bonus. He's like, I don't play Fortnite anymore, so this is nice.
Oh my gosh. So anybody could do that? You're saying? Wait. Oh
Anybody.
my gosh. Wow.
Usually it's
I
only
mean,
in a 2-week period or something like that, or like you can only return 3 things because they put
uh-huh.
limit on it just in case something happens. But I guess part of it was that Epic Games was ignoring fraudulent charges, I guess. So like if a kid was to buy something and they didn't mean to, the parent contacts Epic Games. They were ignoring those
Oh
because
my
it was hard to
gosh.
return all of those and refund.
And I believe it because with Microsoft, man, it's a pain. It's a pain in the butt trying
Yeah,
to refund a
sure.
digital purchase, you know. And so, well, two things I know. So for someone like me, I can't wait to get my $2 back. And then, in the 5 years game or whatever this game's been out, and also I can't imagine how much money they're losing. But I mean, they're losing.
Like, okay, if 520 million is just the fine, how much are they losing on returns? I don't know.
I want to, yeah, but under a billion probably. Like they're probably that big of a company.
It's
Where
absolutely insane. So I just thought this is
Mhm.
huge. I don't know. And the Federal Trade Commission is on an absolute bender right now, just
Mhm.
taking people down. So we'll see what happens with Activision Blizzard too, because we don't have a resolution on that one. Whereas this one, we have like the resolution is people can get refunded and Fortnite has to change their UI.
Yeah, I wonder, you see like in Spielberg movies where the guy always picks up on a pattern, like, wait a
Sure.
second, this doesn't look right. I wonder what The Office is, where the guy's looking at like purchase history across the board, and they're like age range 10 to 12.
Yeah.
They're like, what is this? And they're like,
What's
hey
going
Bob,
on?
come here. I need you to see this. And it's like
Yeah.
Spielberg.
This game's E10 and up. Why are the purchases for
Yeah.
teens? Yeah.
Yeah, it's like this is a red flag, and they notice it.
There's like 10 people huddled around like a small CRT TV with their fingers in their mouth. Like, what's going on?
Yeah. They're like, bring, and a guy's running to the screen. It's like we gotta get there, kind of like Armageddon or one of those. Yeah.
Briefcase, sweat dripping down the forehead.
Yeah,
God.
you know what I'm
I
talking
know what
about.
you're talking about.
All right. Well, there you have it. Moving on now. We have this is pretty cool. The future is here. We know that. Over 90% of all video game sales in the past year were reportedly digital. Rest in peace, GameStop lines.
Dude.
Yeah. Here we go. Based on data shown via the games industry, it appears that this is an industry trend and that some of those previously reported companies actually are still selling more physically in comparison. According to the data, 94% of video game sales were done through digital stores instead of physical or boxed sales, as it's mentioned in their data. The physical sales data only accounted for merely 5%, 5.8% in comparison.
Which doesn't
It should
feel
be
right.
Yeah, that's interesting because you always tell me about, hey, I'm getting the hard book, the hardcover, right? The what are they
Steelbook.
called?
Yeah.
Steelbook. You're always getting steelbooks and collector's editions,
For-
like
Well, I don't
for
even
main
buy.
games.
Yeah, I like to buy like the versions that are like $10 more than retail that comes with the Steelbook, and it's only for games I'm excited about too.
Mhm.
But that's
Yeah.
it. If it's not that, I'm buying digital.
Would you say it's for more AAA games or like a smaller game has
Well,
one or no?
I don't know. I have a Sifu Steelbook and
Okay.
which is smaller,
Yeah.
but I had to wait till a physical release. That started as digital.
Okay. Interesting. Let's see. Another thing to note here is that the data appears to be heavily skewed due to PC gamers, where digital sales dominate, with 98% of sales being done digitally via the PC.
Who's got a
Console.
Who's got an F and CD-ROM
Yeah,
tray in their
I was
PCs?
thinking. I was like, man, I used to remember going to like the stores and you would see like Safari Hunter and it's a big
Yep.
box of a disc. And
Yeah.
it's like you gotta
Big
put that
cardboard
thing
box.
in. Yeah,
My
yeah,
dad's got
big
that
old-
on Half-Life. He's got like
Oh,
Half-Life
really?
1 and 2 in those huge boxes, and like Doom. It's pretty
Whoa, that
fun.
might be a little collector's item.
They're sweet. They got all the books and guides in there on how to
Mhm.
install and all this. It's
Oh,
hilarious.
dude, yeah, that's crazy. Because like, yeah, CDs for one are like, you gotta have space for all this stuff.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, with digital, man, you can. I mean, because one thing too that's probably benefited digital purchasing is storage. You can now get 4 TB
Yeah.
for like what, $100 now.
Yeah.
Like speeds and stuff. It's crazy how much storage you could have.
Hmm.
So that's probably the main contributing factor. Another factor is the rise of indie games, most of which are sold with no physical options, like you just said, as their budget usually cannot produce physical units. So consumers have no alternatives when wishing to purchase those games. So, I mean,
Yeah.
I'll never go back.
Really?
Because okay, well, usually it's always like get the digital, get the premium, and you have a 9 p.m. You have like a couple hours early to play. You can play instantly. You can stay at home. I mean, yes, the experience of going to a GameStop, getting in the line is fun, but they would
Yeah.
always release at midnight.
Right.
And now you're like the surge of content creation and like being with your friends and grinding the fastest. There's so many factors that you're like, I want to play the second it comes out.
Yeah.
So you're like, I
Yeah.
want to buy digital. But
I agree. And I think digital is just, I mean, even yesterday, I was jumping back into Sifu to try
Mhm.
it out again. And then I'm also playing Death Stranding. And I have both of those on discs. And let me tell
Mhm.
you, I almost just didn't play Sifu again because I was like, I don't want to change the discs. I was like, forget it, bro. I gotta go.
dude,
I gotta walk 2 steps this way to
oh
grab the
my
disc
gosh.
and put it in.
Listen, I'm glad you said that because I was gonna make a point too that listen, this is partly ridiculous, like kind of a
It's
joke,
ridiculous. Yeah.
but you know what? Our time is valuable, and I tell swapping these discs,
Oh,
we don't,
man.
we don't have time for that at our age.
But like, if you give me a Blu-ray or like a
Mhm.
4K disc or something,
Oh,
I don't
easy.
mind taking the extra time
Mhm.
for a movie
Yeah,
because
the
I
movie.
know you're gonna get the quality of like sound and audio or video is just million times better than you're gonna get on Netflix, which you watch a movie and on Netflix, and if it's a dark scene, all like it's all artifacty and gross.
Oh,
It's like, dude,
awful.
Netflix has the worst bit rate and like all this kind of stuff. It's terrible.
Dude, yeah, like if that's one thing, if I can hate one thing about streaming, Disney Plus and HBO and Netflix,
Yeah.
is that the quality is so I've been butchered. Like it's
Yeah.
so grainy and like
Sure, it's 1080.
720.
It's the
No.
right resolution, but it doesn't like the actual
Mhm.
image quality that you're receiving is so low.
Yeah.
It was even a whole thing. I remember when Game of Thrones was happening,
Oh,
like
yeah.
season 8. People were like, "Don't watch it on HBO because HBO is giving you a smaller file size or whatever. You have to watch it on Amazon with the HBO
Mhm.
add-on because Amazon has the highest quality thing." But wild. It's
Yeah.
ridiculous to me. I don't know.
I still have yet to like I need to get Batman 4K but yeah, like I'm sure discs too. Like sometimes my games because they're digital, they glitch out. Like Star Wars
Weird.
glitched. Jedi Fallen Survivor, there was a moment that I would keep restarting it
Order?
and it was
Well,
yeah, it was
that
a
was probably
glitched
just a
moment.
game glitch. Because usually,
Yeah.
even with the disc or the digital, it downloads the entire thing on your console. The disc just
Mhm.
is like it's your key.
Key?
It's like the key to the
Yeah.
door. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, yeah. Well, hey, listeners, let us know. Tweet us out. Do you still use digital hard copy? I know we got some listeners that they would rather appreciate the discs over the digital.
I'll always be a big fan of physical
Mhm.
media, just owning your stuff.
Mhm.
But I can't lie and say that digital sucks because I love digital as well. I have a way bigger digital library than physical. Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't remember the last time I bought a disc, but I'm with it.
Bringing in the next article we have here is the new Tomb Raider game will be published by Amazon. This comes from PC Gamer. Back in April, Crystal Dynamics announced that it was working on a new Tomb Raider game using Unreal Engine 5, which is said to enable it to push the envelope of fidelity and deliver a high-quality cinematic action adventure experience that fans deserve. A new addition to a hugely successful game franchise wasn't exactly the most unexpected bit of news ever, but today's announcements caught me by surprise. It's going to be published by Amazon Games.
Wow. If we know anything about Amazon, is that they go all out with their budget. You know what I mean? Like
What?
well, I'm just relating to, more film TV content where it needs the power
Sure.
that give it all their money. I mean,
Mhm.
if that could look like I was watching, I'm like, this is a movie that I would watch in theaters, not on TV. Maybe this game is like this is AAA at its max.
You play New World?
Maybe. New World, the like open world. I heard of it.
The
And I
MMO,
remember
yeah,
it. I
that's an
remember it.
Amazon
Yeah,
game.
that's Amazon. That was huge.
That was
That looked great.
gigantic. It was like a flash in the pan, though. So hot,
Yeah,
everybody needs to buy it, and then I don't
it
know where
was
it's at
right
now.
after Valheim too. It was like Valheim, and then it was that, and then
Wow, Ryder has like
yeah.
2020 and 2021 is like
Mm.
Valheim, and it's like it's not post COVID, it's like post Valheim. He's like, what
Yeah.
came after, what came before? If it was in a 12-month span after or before Valheim, it was like, oh dude, that was right before Valheim.
It's like, oh, that's 1.5 AV.
Right,
But after
version.
Valheim or BV.
Yeah,
Before Valheim.
EVAV.
It's always before because it took such a big chunk of my life.
Amazon Games is committed to bringing players games of the highest quality from the best developers across all variety of platforms and genres. And we're honored by the opportunity to work with this storied developer and franchise. Amazon Games Vice President Christoph Hartmann said, "Our team is incredibly excited about collaborating with the talented and visionary Crystal Dynamics team to bring the next chapter of Lara Croft saga around the world." So Amazon's publishing, but Crystal Dynamics is still creating it. So I don't think we should
Great.
expect a big deviation from what we already have
Yeah.
in the Tomb Raider games.
Love to hear it.
The
And
yeah.
oh, so the big thing they're still focusing on Laura because usually you see like they kind
Right.
of change it up.
Yeah.
But
Did you
still
play
Lara
all
Croft.
3 of their new ones?
I did. I will say, Uncharted being my favorite game, Tomb Raider was close, and I was just like,
Yeah.
just give me more of the same, So I played the heck out of
Sure.
them.
I something about Shadow of the Tomb Raider, the third one, didn't
Yeah,
grab me.
it was okay. First
Like,
and second one are just solid, but
yeah, I think I was like hunting jaguars or something. I'm like, I don't know, man. I'm out. I'm out.
it
And I
got
bounced.
weird. She had like superpowers, and then there was like monsters
Really?
and ghosts.
Well, there's
Yeah,
always
and I
been
was
a
just like,
supernatural element to Lara Croft.
I'd say this one went a little too far.
Okay. Let's see. The announcement doesn't contain any new details on the game, describing it as a single-player, narrative-driven adventure that continues Lara Croft's story. So it might be a continuation, might be like a fourth game.
Right.
With all the elements that have made Tomb Raider one of the most revered franchises in gaming, giving players control of the confident and multi-dimensional hero Lara Croft. I love how they have to describe her character as multi-dimensional because that was one of the big complaints of the first game, is that Lara Croft is like a very one-note character.
Yeah.
You're in an environment, rewards exploration, creative pathfinding, mind-bending puzzles, wide variety of enemies, blah, 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 blah. And the author of this article says, that sounds good. But it could also pretty much be every Tomb Raider game ever. So there's
Yeah,
no details yet.
Again, it's like it would unfortunately get my purchase, and I'm like, I just wouldn't even look at the quality as long as it's not like Gotham Knights bad, in a franchise of Batman that's so
yeah.
amazing.
Right.
Having Tomb Raider being to me so amazing, I hope this fourth new iteration isn't like a complete ruining of the. Just stick to what it's good.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I'll buy it, but I really hope that Crystal Dynamics just sticks with it.
Sure. Yeah. Big. All right, yo.
Okay.
It's time
This is
to
it.
get into this clip. Here we go. I'm going to intro it. Welcome back to Strictly Casual. We are going to go over our top 5 games of 2022, and this is not a collective list. I'm going to talk about my top 5, Ryder's going to talk about his top 5, and James sent in his top 5 games of the year, so we have those here as well. So all 3 of us are going to give our top 5s. Ryder, I would like you to start with number 5. We're all going to go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and to the top.
All
What do
right,
we
here
got?
we go. I hope this list is pretty surprising. There's going to be some cliche ones, but my number 5 is one that kind of blew up on the Xbox Game Pass radar, and that's a little game known as Dusk Falls, which is a story-driven kind of choice maker game.
Choice
And-
maker game.
Yeah,
oh, no.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's like you make choices and stuff. But yeah, it had a great story, and it was very simple in this concept to play. But I think having gone to the launch event hosted by
Yeah,
Kind of
sure.
Funny, that kind of made the game for me. So then I proceeded to play the whole thing, and it was
Yeah.
like great game of the year. But
Sure. You have good memories attached to the game, not just the
Yeah.
game. Yeah. Which is really cool.
It was solid. Yeah, good
That always
vibe.
makes the experience better.
Mhm.
My number 5, well, this is tough. I really had a struggle trying to put a number 5, but I
Mhm.
think it's Sifu. I think
Oh,
Sifu is my
nice.
number 5. I absolutely love it. So much fun. I tried to jump back in the other day,
Mhm.
and it's so difficult because you learn the moves so well, and you kind of
Yeah.
memorize exactly what to do in each scenario because you have to go through these
Mhm.
multiple times. And I had totally lost that. So I was failing
Mhm.
like terribly. But it just shows
Yeah.
like that's one of those games where the more you put time in, it rewards you by just you being able to you master the level, and that feeling is rewarding. It doesn't have to give you anything to feel rewarding. It's really interesting. Love it.
It's a creative game, man.
Yes. And James, number 5 was Marvel Snap. It's very interesting. So
I respect it.
I'll have some more to say about Marvel Snap in a little bit as
Me too.
well. Ryder, what's your number 4?
Number 4 is a game I think we both talked about. Again, Xbox Game Pass. We love it here. Trek to Yomi, which was kind of
interesting.
A side scroller, kind of Ghost of Tsushima, but story wise was kind of a little intriguing. But I think the combat for me was very simple, very kind of easy to grasp. But it was gorgeous because it was black and white, and it had the vibes going for it.
I never finished Trek to Yomi. I got like halfway through, and I hated the combat. I thought it was clunky. I thought it was clunky. But
it takes a little bit,
it's one of those ones where I still have it on my PlayStation, just ready to go back because I would like to finish it eventually.
It's probably an easy platinum for you.
Maybe. I think you have to play it on harder difficulties, and if the combat sucks that bad, I was like, I can't do the harder difficulty. I'm like, there's no shot. But maybe, I don't know. James's number 4 is Overwatch 2.
Well, okay.
God bless him. Which wasn't that much different than Overwatch 1 for me, so I didn't put it on my top 5, but it was definitely one of my top played games this year because it was tons of fun. It was super, super good.
Great one.
My number 4 is Marvel Snap as well.
Nice.
I thought this was going to be terrible, just another Marvel mobile game to jump into, but I was shocked about how fun and addictive it was, and I put
very addictive.
When that came out, I was on Steam down because it came out on PC also. God bless it, because the mobile was great, but I could just have it on my PC while I was working and stuff, and just play a quick game here and there. Do little things. Collection levels going up. You're collecting cards. It's awesome. I'm still jumping in every once in a while, even if I'm not playing it like religiously. And it's cool. It's so good.
Yeah. It's great. It's basically just a numbers game, but man, it's fun.
Dude,
well, I mean, it's more than
simple.
that, but it's so good.
It is simple. It's addictive. Each card brings something new to the table, and there's major strategy to be had. But even with like a good strategy, there's still ways with the like environmental effects, I guess. Each location has a different effect that can alter the game so much, and that makes it super interesting and continuously interesting. I'm sure that I'll jump back in when they add PvP next month, because we're going to be battling for sure.
100% every day.
Big time.
Here we go. My number 3 is more of a DLC, and that is Destiny 2: The Witch Queen. That came out earlier this year.
Wait a second. Did it?
Did it? Yeah. Dude, it had to. Come on. We played with Hydra. That was like February. I looked it up. All the games released this year.
I believe you. Yeah.
And that was, I think, like February, I want to say.
Yeah.
Man, what a big... This was one of the biggest DLCs that released for the game.
Yeah.
I think it was back for a lot of people, friends, cousins, family. So everybody was playing it.
Sure.
Great story, man. And kind of the setup, the penultimate setup for the big finale coming up soon for Lightfall. Great campaign and new combat. And Destiny 2 was back again for me. So
we were grinding. We were grinding Destiny 2. I think it was the first time I had hit or even close to max light level in a long time with Destiny.
Yeah, same. See, if it could bring us back like that, that's how you know it's a good DLC. So I was like,
dude, I'm hoping Lightfall hits not only that, but even reaches
more. Because I'm very excited. Yeah. Destiny 2 is a big game for. I mean, I played for years now, so I was impressed.
I have like, I don't know, 6, 7, 8 years of investment into Destiny.
Yeah, because you were on the first one too.
Oh, right? Dude, 2014. I was there at GameStop waiting in line. Day one. It's the best. What are we on? 3?
Yeah.
My number 3 is Lego Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga.
Nice.
Absolutely obsessed with this game. To me, lived up to the hype mostly. I will say that I was expecting their end game content that they described to be a lot different than it was. It was very much the idea of, okay, playing through all 9 movies. You still have to get like True Jedi or like get as many studs as you can in each mission. The end game activities were just the open world hubs, which there's a lot of, which is awesome. Sure. Like there's a lot to do afterwards, but there's no incentive to go do those things. Even though like there's some high stud cost characters or high stud cost things you can buy, like vehicles and all that. But that wasn't enough to make me want to solve all the open world stuff and do all the puzzles.
Mhm.
They didn't give me enough of a reason. But other than that, absolutely love it. I played through all 9,
Agreed.
had such a great time. I finished
Mhm.
a couple of the planets. The space battles are really cool. Just everything about it. I love it. It made me feel really happy while playing it. And that was one of the best gaming experiences I had this year. So I have Lego
Yeah.
Skywalker Saga as number 3.
That's great to hear.
And then James, number 3
Mhm.
was The Quarry,
Oh, yeah.
which I have not played. Did you play that one?
I played a little bit of it, and I watched footage of the entire game. I
Okay.
didn't feel right putting it on my list, even though I was like, "This is a great game."
Sure.
Like, I was like, I can't do it." But yeah, that's a solid one, dude. I love it. It's funny.
Yeah, because you really like Until Dawn, right?
Yeah, love the story-based choice games like that.
I would like to play The Quarry eventually. It's on sale
Mhm.
right now, I think, on PlayStation, Xbox, Steam. They're all having their giant holiday sales right now, and so like I just
Ooh.
adding things to my
tempting.
cart and just seeing the money roll on up. It's
Yeah, how
terrible.
much does it add up to?
Dude, just to play the indie games that I missed this year. I mean,
Uh-huh.
because I missed some major ones. I missed Neon White.
Mhm.
I did not play Stray. What else did I miss?
man.
Oh, last year Inscription. I missed that. There's a lot of these like games that were all nominated for things, and people
Yeah.
seem to really, really like that I missed. I think I was at like $80 with like I don't know, 7 games in there or something like that.
Yeah.
6 games, which is pretty good, but
Yeah.
crazy. Okay, number 2 writer.
My number 2 is Lego Star Wars.
Wow. Okay. Sweet.
Yeah. It's so high because for me, it was like I haven't played a Lego game since I was a kid, but I did play them a lot. And I think for me, I was going back to this game because it was so. I think it was one of the better Lego games for me because I
Totally.
did Marvel Avengers, I did the DC ones, but this was like cool. I get to enjoy every single story in the universe. It was the ultimate Lego Star Wars essentially, and I think for like every point you had, I completely agree with. And I think it's kind of end game stuff was like okay, but it's kind of hard to get you in after you finish it. But yeah, I was like, it's a solid game. Lots of good memories in it.
Yeah. I mean, just even the way they adapted each movie into like the different
So
chapters.
silly, yeah.
It's so fun. Yeah.
Mhm.
Did you have a favorite movie to play
Mm.
through?
I think always like probably episode 3 or episode 7, just because I love how they do treat Kylo Ren and his saber.
Sure.
Yeah.
I think 8 was my favorite,
Yeah.
but probably because it's one of my favorite Star Wars
Yeah,
movies
me
as
too.
well. James is number 2. Should we jump into his 1st?
Mhm.
Yeah, James number
Yeah,
2 is God of War Ragnarok, which
Oh, okay.
coincides with my number 2, also God of War Ragnarok. This was very tough. I'm sure people can guess what our number 1s would be in that case, but this was very tough, the race between 1 and 2, and I think God of War has an incredible story. I see some people bashing the story on Twitter and the game that it wasn't different enough and stuff like this. Didn't care. I just didn't care when I was playing it. The combat was great. I think the improvements of the combat were amazing. The traversal stuff, like with giving us the grapple hook and some things that I won't spoil in the game, were really awesome. I thought the story was good and emotional. While I don't think the story is as good as the first one, I think the first one is still stronger in its like arc, I guess.
Okay. Yeah.
But this one is so good. It is
Mhm.
a truly worthy successor of
Yeah.
the first game. I absolutely love it. I would recommend. This is a must play. This is a
Mhm.
damn near perfect game, if not
Yeah.
a perfect game.
Yeah.
A must play.
Agreed. It's solid. Okay, I'll get through. I have 4 honorable mentions.
Yeah,
I threw
hit
in
me.
Marvel Snap
Sure.
just because I didn't know if that was really counting. Stray, it was great, but I didn't really finish it. Modern Warfare 2, I'm having a ball
Yeah.
with.
Mhm.
Even though with Call of Duty, I hate to put it on the list, but fun time with friends
Sure.
and family. Last was Part 1. Even
Yeah.
we played it before, but man, was that a
Yeah.
whole different experience now it's redone. But yeah, I guess my number 1, or right, my number 1 now.
Should I say my honorable mentions
Yeah,
before we go
yeah,
into
you're
number 1
honorable.
also?
Yeah, sorry, yours. Yeah.
I think my honorable mention would be also Last of Us Part 1 is great, but again, it's not really new this year. It's
Yeah.
just upgrade this year. Vampire Survivors, absolutely loved. That's a
yeah.
time suck though, dude. That is a time suck. You could sit there and just be gaming with WASD for friggin' hours, just gaming. Oh my goodness, what else?
Indie games that were on your list.
Yeah, I feel like I had more that Do you know what's not on my honorable mentions list and not on this list, and that somebody's gonna get mad at me for? Is Horizon Forbidden West. Because Horizon Forbidden West is the most beautiful game that I've ever played. It is the best graphics ever.
Mm-hmm.
But the story to me is god awful. Like there's no it hurts. It hurts to play, and the actual like the second to second gameplay is so good. It's so fun hunting monsters and stuff. Anything out of that is boring. The traversals not fun. It feels glitchy when you run around. Like you don't feel ever in control of Aloy except when you're like aimed down the bow. Even the melee didn't hit as well. It was very cool that you get to fly on robots at the end. That was really awesome. But like there's nothing memorable to me about the story of the game. And to me that is so important in what Horizon Forbidden West is. And I was hoping that would be, some sort of step up over the first game, and it was not.
Yeah. Well, having played most of that story, I can tell you that it doesn't come close to my least favorite game, and that's Gotham Knights.
That's not on your honorable mention list?
It's on my least favorite game of the year, but I can go in for 30 minutes about that game, but
sure.
I'll just say that. That was it.
That's fair.
But I'm with you on Horizon. Yeah. It's like,
although I did get the platinum trophy for Horizon, and I spent 60 something hours in it. So I guess there's something to like in that game, but it's not on my list.
But it's a good point to recognize that you've done everything. And
I've done everything in the game.
So think about it. Yeah.
And I think there are plenty of people that are huge Horizon fans that love Aloy and Aloy's journey and stuff like that.
Yes.
For some reason, I don't see any intrigue in her story. That being said, I cannot wait for Guerrilla Games like co-op Monster Hunter type game in their world that they're trying to do. Their multiplayer. I think that's going to be great because the story's not important and you just focus on the best part, which is hunting these giant beasts and using different arrows and things to take down the beasts. That's awesome. That's exactly what I want.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Right. Okay, here we go. I guess my number one is God of War Ragnarok.
Nice.
And that is because when I sit down and I grab that controller, I just want to finish the game. I want to get through the whole thing.
Yeah.
And like you said, it is a perfect game to me because nothing was wrong with it. I didn't have no glitches. It's so smooth. The combat was like easy to grasp. There was a lot to the combat. There's so many different weapons and like controls to that weapon. You have to do left D, hold the trigger, X, and all these different things. And so for me, it was like there was a lot of customization in that way.
Totally.
And yes, the story was amazing too in its own right, but I think I can get through beginning to end just nonstop. And to me, if I could do that, if I could finish a game fast and want to finish it, it's a perfect game. So my number one.
Even though it's like a 20-hour story, 27-hour story or something like that.
It was long. It was a lot. It was a lot.
It's so good. And I think you hit a good point too. I really liked in this game the customization with not just the skill trees, but within the skill trees, if you hit like a certain amount of moves, you can change that skill and make it focus on like damage or momentum or freeze or fire or like whatever these like different modifiers are to change your play style. Like for instance, there's the heavy axe throw or whatever where you charge it up and then you throw it. And I always wanted that to do more stun so that they can be just stunned out and I can go over with a finisher right away, like takes out the enemy immediately. Like different things like that. You can make it your own.
RPG-esque, yeah.
Yeah, so I thought that was really cool.
And like you said, people said that it's not different enough. That's for me what I love about when they do with sequels. It's like they practically don't change anything because it's like that's what makes it so good in the first. Like don't even change it, just keep it the same. I'll play it.
Oh, I think there were changes in this, and I mean, there's a lot of surprises. If you haven't played God of War Ragnarok, I mean, a lot of ways that the game switches it up. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. God of War Ragnarok is so freaking good. I did get the platinum for that this year as well. Along with my number one pick.
Your number one.
Elden Ring, baby.
Dun, dun.
So good. It's truly... This was tough because maybe I enjoyed God of War Ragnarok in some aspects more than Elden Ring. But there's something about Elden Ring that is just there for me. I put more time in Elden Ring than any other game this year. The platinum trophy, everything. And this is my first From Software game ever.
Wow.
I tried Bloodborne, couldn't get into it. I got to try it again though now. Dark Souls 3, I tried that too. But something about Elden Ring's like the open world, the exploration and stuff like that. It's not perfect like everybody says. I don't agree. It's like Breath of the Wild to me where I don't think it has a perfect open world. Because Elden Ring people are like, oh my God, I love it because you could just go anywhere and find something. And that's true. But also sometimes there's not enough, in my opinion, guide of where to go, which makes it both fun and not fun at the same time.
It's hard for me.
Sometimes there's hours where I get nothing accomplished, and I'm like, I don't know what I did in that play session at all. Maybe nothing. Maybe I just killed some bots and got some, leveled up. Maybe once or
a little bit of
something like
coin,
that.
yeah.
But that's my only like gripe with it is sometimes it feels directionless, even if there's so much to do. Other than that, the boss design is absolutely incredible. I think the weird stories with the NPCs are super fun to follow when you run into them in the wild. The way you're able to build your character and play any play style you want, even if you have a starting class that is way different than you end the game in. There's something magical about Elden Ring that I can't describe, is a feeling that I have not had with many other games before. Elden Ring has to be number one for me. I felt the biggest sense of accomplishment after completing this game as well. That has not left me. Like finishing this game, I was like, this is a huge, like I win.
Triumph of my life. Yeah.
I don't care if I used the stupid mirror summon or whatever you call it.
The mimic.
Yeah, the mimic tier. Don't care. I don't care that I used it. It still doesn't matter. This was such a huge accomplishment for me, I feel like. So I love it.
The sad thing, the regret I have of this game's lifetime is that I didn't get to hear about the ups and downs in the journey of this game from your point of view. Because I remember you telling me I'm starting it, and then months later, it's done. And I'm like, oh, but I saw people raging and crying and enjoying this and freaking. And I never heard it. I mean, we never talked about it.
Sure.
So I'm like, I never knew what you went through because we never spoke about it. But
there's a lot.
Yeah, it was just done for you. And I was like, man, what did Vince go through?
No, it's because it took me months.
Yeah, I know.
To beat. Like there was pieces where I was like, I had to put it down for like a week. I was like, I can't get past this. I don't know what I'm gonna do. But that's Elden Ring's one of those games, can't beat it. You put it down for 24 hours, you come back to it less frustrated, and you're able to get it.
It's different, refreshed. I'm gonna play it. Even though I've seen it all, I'm gonna play it.
It's worth it. It is just so worth it. It's so cool. I love it.
It's tough.
And that brings me to James's number one, which is also Elden Ring.
Nothing needs to be said. James and Elden Ring goes together like.
Ooh, yeah, James is a From Software fiend. So yeah, that makes sense.
He's a fiend, dude. He loves
No, but I think he would share a lot of the same sentiment as I do. I know we had talked about that a lot with also feeling directionless sometimes in the game, it's hard to, if you're not invested enough in the game and you feel directionless in a game, you're not going to go back sometimes. And I know a lot of people that didn't finish Elden Ring because of that issue. I don't even know if it's an issue because some people like that. Some people love it. It just didn't work for me, I guess.
Yeah.
Some incredible games this year. Right? Is there anything you want to say? Anything else you want to mention about this year?
I'm with you. Amazing games. Some not so great that we have talked about off stream.
I'm going to buy Gotham Knights.
Oh, God, no. I guess your friend. I can't make you waste money, dude. It's wasting money.
Maybe I'll wait for 60 FPS. I don't know.
Oh gosh, maybe. Yeah. Listen, this next year, oh baby, we're getting some good ones. Parentheses, Spider-Man 2. That's all I care about.
Starfield?
That's all I need in my life. No, Spider-Man 2.
No, Starfield and Spider-Man 2.
Oh my God.
Big
November.
Year.
Never mind. It's gonna be the biggest year in gaming. I'll say it. Next year will be the biggest year. Like every year.
Every year, if we say that. Will it be 2018 as the biggest year of gaming? I don't know.
Ooh, good point.
2018 was
Red Dead, Spider-Man. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's it, guys. Those are our top 5 games of the year. Thank you so much for watching. We appreciate you guys. We'll be back, of course, next year with best games of 2023 at the end of the year. But if you like video games, movies, and all that kind of stuff, you can stay right here at Strictly Casual. We cover it all. If you want to check out, we have 2 podcasts. We have this one, which you're watching right now. This is a clip from Checkpoint, our gaming news podcast, which you can go to any audio platform, type in Checkpoint Strictly Casual. And we have a movie podcast, Freeze Frame, which you can type in also. Freeze Frame Strictly Casual. It's a yellow little box. They look very similar in art, and they both are by Strictly Casual, so you'll be able to find them very easily. And subscribe to the channel. Helps us out a bunch. And we have TikTok too, so catch you over there too. All right, guys. Peace out. See you next time. I just stopped recording the podcast, which means I have to then edit the podcast again. So we're back.
No.
Dang it. That's okay.
You could have stopped recording.
I stopped recording. I do it all the time. This is like the 3rd time I've done it in the last couple months. Audio listeners are cracking up because I've complained about this struggle again. Is I always stop recording after the clip. Yeah, we're back.
Oh wow, that's funny. Dang, I'm sorry.
It's just natural because I do the clip separately for freeze frame. So I stop
You're
and
so-
record after.
boom.
So I just click it at the end of
Yeah.
stupid freeze frame,
As
even
soon
though
as
I'm
you say
recording
bye,
live.
you're like, don't click anything.
So what's some extra editing to do? Because that's my favorite thing,
Yeah.
is to do a little extra
It's
editing.
not like
on
you
the
have
podcast.
so much time.
It's not like I just have unlimited time today. Yeah, no problem.
Okay, well that's everything. We have our little random fun stuff.
Bring us into random fun stuff.
Epic Games, they're giving away free game every day. Oh, that's right. They do their annual holiday sale. They're giving away a free game. Vince put, hop on it, baby.
You gotta open it today, Ryder, and download Lego Builder's Journey.
Oh my
It's
gosh. No way.
beautiful.
Yeah. I've heard of it. I can't believe it's free. This is
I
coming
jumped
out.
in yesterday. I played in 4K with ray tracing and like high detail shadows and everything. Played like 10
yeah.
minutes, but it was awesome. It was beautiful.
Dang. Oh, there was another game you had texted me about too. You said, download this game I want to play.
Yeah,
like
Dark
a-
and Darker. Dark and Darker is a new game. Let me pitch this to you, Ryder.
Steam or
Steam.
Epic? Okay.
Dark and Darker is first person, kind of Skyrim looking esque. It looks like Skyrim graphics too. It's not like top tier or anything like that, but it's a D&D type game. It's like Tarkov in a dungeon. So like you go in with friends and there's all these like skeletons and wizards and like all these people to kill or whatever. But there's other players also raiding the same dungeon. So it's PvP and PvE. And there's chests everywhere and you're like collecting as much as you can. And then you're trying to escape the dungeon before anybody can kill you. So you can keep all your stuff. And then if you have like, you can get a really good sword and bring that into the next one where it's easier to kill things and like better armor. And it's in alpha right now. It's not in, so it's really early still. But dude, you can't play as a solo player. Everybody is teamed up in 3 players, which is the max, and like you can't do a 3-on-1. I don't care how many spells you cast, bro. It's impossible. And so we got to play with 3. I can't wait.
Dang. Okay, that sounds great. I'll definitely check that out. Sad news though. I mean, yeah, that sounds amazing, and I'm for it. I'm gonna download that.
What happened?
But Lego Builder's Journey is no longer available for the free game.
It was yesterday.
It's it was yesterday. Now it's a Fallout Tactics. It's like a Fallout
Dude,
Fallout 2, a post-nuclear role playing game. So
I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
And they gave away Wolfenstein 2 days ago. Like Wolfenstein 3.
Okay. Wolfenstein's great. I had a phase when I was like in a war history, but
Alternate war history where there's mechs
yeah,
and
it's like
Nazis.
what would happen if the Nazis didn't win the war? But
Sure.
yeah, that game sounds pretty cool. I saw some of the photos of it online. It looked crazy. So
Yeah, it looks fun.
darker.
I think it's like
That's
8
good.
gigs too. It's pretty small, so just
Nice.
it's getting cool to have it installed.
Okay.
That's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching Checkpoint in 2022. We did, I don't know, we only skipped maybe 3 weeks of all of 2022, which means we probably had close to 50 episodes, maybe 49 episodes this year.
Wow, that's fantastic.
Yeah, we're getting close to episode 150. This is episode 143.
Oh, I wonder if they might have gotten out of whack, but it used to be because we're on 92.
No, they're still there. Yeah, so your
Oh, it's
next
still-
week will be 90 or be
93.
93. We're just like, maybe we're 1 week off. That's where we're
Yeah.
at.
It's gonna be episode 100 and 150 together.
Yeah,
That's gonna be huge.
it's going to be awesome. 250 podcast episodes for Strictly Casual is pretty crazy.
Oh, nuts. Yeah.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching. We appreciate you all. And we will see you in 2023.
The new year.
Roll the
Let's do
outro, baby.